We've got some Week 12 Octagonal Football League action as the 5-5 Seattle Seahawks head out to Lincoln Financial Field for some Sunday Night Football to take on the 7-3 Philadelphia Eagles in a game with lots of playoff implications in the crowded NFC Conference. There are many teams fighting for playoff spots here, many teams, as you can see, in the hunt, just missing it. Lots of 5-6 teams as well in the conversation, like Arizona, for example. Let's go first quarter, 3rd and 2 here for Seattle. Baker Mayfield looking to throw it, and he connects. Nice play for a gain of 32 yards. He's going to get that one over to the big tight end. Nice grab from Trey, the Philly special. Burton returning to Philly, one of his former NFL teams. Obviously, this isn't the NFL. And then that'll be a rushing touchdown for Seattle. They strike first, as that's TJ. The ladies are yelling for Yeldon. Now 7-0, but the Eagles answer right back as Aaron Rodgers connects that one with David Moore for the 6-yard score. And the Eagles will tie it up at 7 apiece. Let's go second quarter. Seahawks back with the ball. Baker Mayfield rolling out, and he's going to go out. That's Janoris the Jackrabbit Jenkins with the interception. Baker Mayfield trying to look like NFL Baker Mayfield. Wrong league, Baker. So the Eagles will get the football, 2nd down and 1 for the Birds. As here's A-Rod, he's red hot. But there's Carl Lawson coming in hot for the sack. The former Auburn Tiger forces a loss of 10. So Seattle gets it back. Baker Mayfield back up in his own end zone on 3rd and 3. And he's picked off again. Janoris Jenkins with his second in a matter of about 3 minutes. And the Eagles get the ball in the red zone, his 5th INT of the year. This really does look like, in real life, Baker Mayfield. And then 3rd and goal. Here's Aaron Rodgers with a dart. Once again over to David Moore, his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Eagles will take a 14-7 lead at the 2-minute mark. So Seattle gets it back here. Minute 58 left to go in the half. Baker Mayfield trying to avenge his last few drives, as this one's not going to be an interception. However, it will be a sack. Von Miller and company there to make the play. Miller's had a busy year, his 10th sack of the campaign. And then to finish out the first half, the Eagles actually have it. Going to go for a long field goal, and it doinks off the front. If that was a yard or two closer, it would have gone in. Score remains 14-7. Is Aaron Rodgers on 2nd and 5. Short pass. I don't know why I showed that in the video. That's not exciting. 3rd down and 7 now here for the Eagles. Wentz dropping back to throw it, and he's going to be sacked. That's Justin Simmons going downstairs where Daddy hides the vodka. Seahawks get the ball back, and they did absolutely nothing with it. Later in the 4th, about 4.5 minutes to go in the ball game, here's Aaron Rodgers on 2nd and 12, throwing off his back foot. And that's an absolute dart, connecting with Eric Ebutt, bringing it to the 8-yard line for a gain of 23 yards. And then a 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line here for Philadelphia, as Aaron Rodgers has more time than someone waiting in a McDonald's drive-thru at 5 o'clock in the morning. He would eventually be sacked, however, by Alan Branch, forcing the Eagles' field goal unit as they try to make it a 2-possession game. And that kick would not go off the crossbar. It does fall, and the lead will go up to 10. Now it's a 17-7 lead. Here is Baker Mayfield and the crew. Only about 2.5 minutes left here for Seattle's hopes. As Mayfield on 3rd and 10, he's just going to stand calm and composed. That's probably not a great idea. Intercepted again. That's Grandpa Reggie Nelson with the pick. And the old man still showing off the wheels, bringing it past the 50 to the 48. His 40th career interception in the NFL and OFL combined, if that goes for any value. However, the Eagles decide to fake the punt on 4th and 4. I don't know why they would try to do that. Buster Screen picks it off. Almost was caught by one of the Eagle players, but just questionable play calling from Coach Apple Towner, who, of course, did make an OFL Bowl last year. As there's Juju Smith-Schuster with a nice run. Seahawks moving the chains. Only 16 seconds left as Baker Mayfield looking for the end zone. And he connects with his man. The stat padding has worked as Mayfield gets the receiving touchdown, or gets the passing touchdown. Seattle has to go for the onside kick, but it goes right in the hands of the Eagle receiver. That'll do it for the ball game. Philadelphia gets the win, 17-14. It was an ugly game. Aaron Rodgers played pretty well in this one. Rodgers' efficiency guided the Eagles to victory, as Baker Mayfield did not play well. 3 interceptions, 2 of which were by the veteran Janoris Jenkins. And so, obviously, this league has plenty of big trades, and one of them is Jared Davis going to the Ravens for a 5th and a 3rd. The Bears and the Ravens are both users, but the trade does not work. I don't know why. Anyway, Colts-Texans, I don't know why it did not show the score, but Indianapolis did get the win here. I believe it was pretty close, I think 28-21. So once again, sorry about that. I don't know why it didn't show a score. The Colts now on a 3-game winning streak, so good for them. The Buffalo Bills get the win over the Denver Broncos, as Buffalo looked like they were in tank mode, but they've played better these past few weeks. They're on a nice, I believe, 3 or 4-game win streak. And they are now second in the OAFC East. Obviously, that's New England's division to lose. And Denver half a game behind KC in their division. Bears taking on the Giants. New York gets the win. I must have been too fast scrolling from score to box score, so my apologies. I guess that's why a lot of them aren't showing. So I guess it's my fault. But New York does get the win here. Bears continue their tank. Giants continue their quest for a wild card spot. In overtime, Steelers defeat the Bengals 16-10, as the Steelers, coming off their loss to the Browns, who of course were winless headed into last week's affair, they get revenge. They get their anger out on the divisional rival Bengals, who will fall to 8-3. Next things next. Speaking of Browns, they get their second win of the year. In overtime over the Dolphins, who are on absolute freefall. Miami had a great start to this year, but they've just fallen apart and fallen out of the playoff race. Meanwhile, the Browns, they've won 2 straight, now sitting at 2-9. Dolphins are like 4-6-1 in that range. I'm not entirely sure, but they're on like a 4 or 5 game losing streak. So things are not pretty right now in South Beach. Next things next, we got the Bucs losing to the Falcons. Nice game from Trace McSorley. And Atlanta's playing some quietly good football. They're really asserting themselves in the NFC North race. Bucs and Falcons currently 1 game behind New Orleans. So that'll be an interesting divisional race to watch out for. Panthers not really involved. They're rebuilding pretty much. Speaking of the Panthers, they lose to the Saints. Nice game from a rookie, Kyler Murray. Pair of touchdowns in the ground game as well as the passing game. So he played very well in this one. And the Panthers just continue their tank. Will they look for a new quarterback this offseason? Currently sitting with Josh Rosen there, so we'll have to see. Lions beat the Redskins 42-14, and Patrick Mahomes did start. Now, the coach of the Redskins, Rieger, has told me to put Daniel Jones as a starter 2 weeks in a row. As you will see at the end of this part of the video, I will make the change from Daniel Jones on camera. But besides the point, Redskins, after starting off 3-0, have lost their 8th straight. They fought a 3-8. Lions, meanwhile, sitting at 9-2. They have the best record in the entire league. And then there you go, Daniel Jones, now the starting quarterback out in Washington. So let's see what Danny Dimes can do. Denver Raiders beat the Jets 34-0. It was an ugly game in this one for New York. Raiders are dead last in their division, but, it could be worse. Just look at the OAFC East. Next things next, the Jaguars are on free fall. They've lost like 5 in a row, losing to the Titans, and Tennessee has had a slight lead in the OAFC South for a while now, but they've not really jumped over the edge. Currently only sitting at 6-5, easily the weakest division in the league. I mean, the Colts are playing some very solid football, a lot better than at the beginning of the year, and then the Texans are there as well. Next things next, upset of a week. Cowboys beat the Patriots. So New England loses again. Is Alpo's team really so stacked? And meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys, they were maybe the worst team in the league 5 or 6 weeks headed into the year. But they're on a 5-game win streak. And the Dallas Cowboys are looking nice. They are in the playoffs as of now. I believe they are currently the 6th seed. So Dallas is just playing some really good football right now. And after a slow start, they've looked really good. Niners beat the Packers 35-30. Of course, I am the Niners in this league. We are now 8-3. Packers fall to 5-6. And the run game scored 3 touchdowns, but none of the running backs had over 3 yards of carry, which is atrocious. 4 is like the bare minimum. They didn't even average 3. Obviously, last week, Kareem Hunt did get hurt for us. Best case scenario, he returns for the championship, which is the OFL Bowl. And assuming we don't make it, his season is done. So the running game might be ugly for us, but at least we have a running back at quarterback. And then last but not least, the Monday night game, Ravens beat the Rams. So Los Angeles is pretty much out of the playoff race at this point. And Baltimore, only one game back of Cincinnati. I think Baltimore will catch Cincinnati, and I think Baltimore will win the AFC North. Hot take alert. Anyway, let's take a look now at the Week 13 games. This is the Thanksgiving week. Bears, Lions, Bills, Cowboys, and Saints, Falcons. That Saints-Falcons game could be pretty interesting, as both teams are very close in their division. There's some other interesting games there. Niners, Ravens is going to be competitive. So taking a look at the standings, starting the AFC North, Bengals 1 ahead of the Ravens, 2 ahead of the Steelers, and a lot ahead of the Cleveland Browns. Then in the AFC South, Titans a game ahead of the Colts, and then a game and a half ahead of Houston. In the AFC East, New England with a comfortable lead over their divisional foes. They should win that division with ease. And then on to the West, Kansas City with a half-game lead over Denver. Chargers in the mix as well. Now on to the NFC, starting with the North. Lions close to locking that division up already. As that division's just... I wish the division was like that in real life, but can't get everything you want. Go Lions. Saints currently a game ahead of the Falcons and the Bucks, as I alluded to earlier. Eagles with a nice lead over the Cowboys and the Giants, but both of them will make it competitive. And then the Niners with a very comfortable lead over Seattle and Arizona. So now, looking at the playoff seedings in the AFC, Patriots 1, Bengals 2, Chiefs 3, Titans 4, Ravens 5, Broncos 6, Chargers and Steelers right on the edge as well. And then on the NFC, Lions 1, Eagles 2, Niners 3, Saints 4, Cowgirls 5, Falcons 6, Bucks and Giants tied with the Falcons. Also, Week 12, which is this week, is the final week of bye week. So every team will now be playing from here on out. And then looking at the players of the week, Kyler Murray, Janoris Jenkins, James Conner, and TJ Watt. That'll do it for today's episode. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And as always, have a good one. Peace out, everybody.